Hello from Labelexpo Americas show floor. I'm at the Actega stand, joined by three amazing guests in our little labels and labeling video. We are here to mainly talk about sustainability, and Actega brings two amazing technologies to the market. First, I would like to focus on EcoLeaf. This is a metallization technology. Jasper, could you tell us a little bit about the technology first?
Of course. So we are making a new technology to make the world a little bit bluer. What does it mean? So today in the label industry, if you want to have a very beautiful colored metal shade, you are using a polyester foil. And the polyester foil is laminated against the substrate, and then the polyester is pulled off, and the metallization remains on the substrate, and you throw away the polyester. What this EcoLeaf is doing is we are putting the binder on the substrate, which we call a trigger image, that we are fully curing. That's why we are very good in the fine details. Then in our machine, we are putting the metal flakes like a mosaic together, and then we bring them together. So the substrate, which is printed with the binder, and the mosaic, we bring them together, and the binder picks up the pigments only where we need them. So you get a metal design, metal color, without any foil, without any waste. After the transfer, the film is brought to the printing press, where it's overprinted with the color you want. And this makes also a lot of flexibility, because normally we had a customer here in the US, 60 different colors. And then the color the customer wanted, he didn't have. In our solution, you can make the color, every color you want.
Fantastic. And in terms of sustainability, you shared with us, journalists in the press conference, amazing stats about savings and how that transfers into concrete numbers. Could you tell us about more about this as well, please?
Yeah, so it's pretty amazing. So if you take only the label, you produce 20% less CO2 only on one label when you use EcoLeaf instead of using a foil. Of course, it depends how much you metallize, and we are taking, let's say, an average of 20% metallization, and we reduce 20% the total label. If you only take the metallization part, it's 80%, but you need to take everything in consideration. So we don't want to fake the numbers too much. That's what we say, 20%, which is a lot.
Great, thank you. And you've been testing this technology in Europe for a few years now. You're ready to commercialize it, and you also arrived in Chicago with quite amazing news. Can you tell us more about the installation here?
Yes, so first of all, we did in Europe, we did a lot of betas, and one of the betas we did was at All4Labels with Chen together. And we are now out of the beta phase, and we have machines running up in production in Europe. And today, yesterday we announced that we have in another field, because in the field of All4Labels, it's pressure-sensitive labels. In the field we have in America in the United States is laminated tubes. They are very related to each other because they are delivering to the same brands. So our brand, in hair care brand, has a tube and a label, and we installed a machine at EPL, which is let's say the number one in laminated tubes, and they bring this technology into the United States.
Amazing, thank you, Jasper. And Grant, if we could now talk a little bit about the Signite technology, because this is another sort of revolutionary technology from Actega. Again, huge sustainability benefits. Could you tell us a bit more about this technology?
Yes, sure. So similar to what Harald was saying about EcoLeaf, the primary deliverable sustainability-wise for Signite is waste reduction. There are other advantages that we see as it is implemented around easier recycling and so forth. But if we focus on the improvement in terms of waste, what we're doing with Signite is we're eliminating traditional face stocks. We're replacing that with a carrier film and basically a reverse printed, upside down, sticky side out label that is then transferred onto the container. So if you look at a container that's labeled, it can look exactly the same as a pressure sensitive label or a shrink sleeve, but it can also look like a screen printed container. So you have a nice hybrid in terms of the impact from the brand owner perspective, but with the advantage that in our testing, LCA-wise, 30% reduction in GWP compared to a full wrap label, pressure sensitive or shrink. So the impact is substantial once this scales through the marketplace. The challenge with Signite is really not around the printing. It's really more around the installation of applicator machines, because we need a slightly different applicator. But this is a fairly readily implementable solution. But the impacts for brand owners that are serious about sustainability is very significant.
Great. And you also arrived in Chicago with the news. You're expanding your cooperation with All4Labels. Could you just tell us a bit more about that?
Yes, sure. So just as a background, we commercialized the technology at a low level in the US a couple of years ago, and we've really been looking for a partner on the label side who will invest energy, time, and we are incredibly happy to have formed an alliance with All4Labels, starting in Europe, where we have 2 demo centers, one in Leeds, one in Spain. But announced yesterday, we've expanded that relationship to South and Central America, where we'll be starting to do some work coming up in the next quarter. So really, really exciting news for us, and really nice to have a partnership with a aggressively expanding but also serious about sustainability label producer.
Great, thank you, Grant. And Chen, lastly, I would like to have a quick word with you. You're here representing All4Labels. Our audience probably doesn't need introductions of All4Labels. Group is known for initiatives, innovations, all the latest presses. I remember visiting some of the sites. I remember how amazing they look like. But let's talk about Signite and EcoLeaf. I know that you've created a whole portfolio of materials based on the Signite technology. Can you tell us about that?
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm actually responsible for the Signite collaboration within All4Labels group globally. Actually, our collaboration started also relevant to the Labelexpo in Chicago 2 years ago. So when they won the award in the labels and labeling, I believe, and that's the moment I thought, let's get in touch with the Signite team. So this is how our collaboration started. So we actually get in touch January 2023. We saw the solution and we look at the whole, really the development they're making. We did all the tests. We said, wow, this is really the industry revolutionary solution, because what it can do is really tick all the boxes of the industry trend. For example, sustainability. Yeah? We talk about reduce, reuse, recycle, but also get a circular economy, because this technology will enable the whole recycling process, especially for the glass containers. So this is definitely a big win. And there are also LCA study linked to it, so we can actually offer customer a science kind of target to show what is really the benefits of the Signite technology. And then I think another trend that really hit in is really the personalization, premiumization related to the consumer engagement. It is also enabled with the digital printing, because there are lots of possibilities we can actually make through those technology. And last but not least, I think it's really important in the industry is agility in the supply chain, because the Signite technology really allows open the doors of the new applications, for example, the direct printing industry, and actually can allow customers to reduce the lots of inventories. We opened all packs opportunities for the customer. This is really special. So that's why at the time we did lots of study and we found a really reliable partner. We actually met also in their facilities in Providence, Rhode Island. Then we decided to formulate this partnership. So December 2023, we actually signed off the exclusivity for the next decade in Europe. As you said, like yesterday, we also reached the next level, and we're gonna extend it to the Central and South America.
Very quickly, if you could just tell me how this new portfolio has been received by your customers.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, when we first present to the customer, I mean, you receive the wow effect. Like even like we've been to so many customers, even though like global customers or like medium-sized customers, glass manufacturers, co-packers, you name it. When they see it, the first question is like, wow, how does it happen? Yeah, it's such a thin label, a thin layer. And they always ask me several times, like, Chen, show me again, how did you do that? How did you apply? So I think the wow effect is really the first impression. And then we really got so much positive feedback from everyone. They all want to have it for the sustainability benefit, and also more important, it does not compromise the finishing. This is really important. And I would say, yeah, the first 1 year experience has been excellent.
Thank you very much for sparing time. I know it's busy, you're probably looking after your customers, so thank you very much for finding a few minutes for us. And I look forward to hearing more about technologies in the future.